our final news story comes from Kotaku, where they say, so there are now PlayStation figures called Totaku? Totaku? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Yes. So they say the PlayStation licensed line of Amiibo-looking toys come by way of Think, the merchandise outfit owned by GameStop, and are due to launch on March 23rd. There are a total of 7 different figures, including God of War's Kratos, Tekken's Heihachi, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Heihachi. Oh,
Heihachi.
okay. Yeah, I see.
It's from Tekken.
Sorry. Yeah. Bloodborne's Hunter, Wipeout's Phasar FX 350, Little Big Planet Sackboy, yeah, Parappa the Rapper, and Crash Bandicoot, called Totaku, not to be confused with either Kotaku or its editor-in-chief, Stephen. I don't know why they put that. The toy line is reminiscent of Nintendo's Amiibo, with each character standing just a few inches tall and affixed to a small platform. So these, obviously, I think anyone seeing them would come to the conclusion that PlayStation or Sony realized how successful Nintendo's Amiibo are and wanted to sort of create their own line of stuff. Obviously, the toys to life genre started with like Disney Infinity and Skylanders,
yeah,
and a bunch of other stuff. Nintendo obviously has been the most successful, but I would say that their character lineup are more tiered towards something like this as opposed to other developers, because I would say like Mario and everyone's going to be a lot more famous than Spyro. As lovable as Spyro is, I never really got into Skylanders, but everybody seems to love Nintendo's. So them releasing toys that you could also use in your games made perfect sense. It seems PlayStation is stepping in that direction, but these are toys, just little minifigures that aren't going to necessarily work with your PlayStation games. But if these are successful, I could potentially see PlayStation doing something to where in a future lineup, or like a next iteration of these Totaku, however they're pronounced, will end up working with some of the games if these are successful. So what are your thoughts on this? This wasn't necessarily something that I would have mentioned in a normal podcast, but I think it kind of goes along with what you're here for, your work on custom Amiibo and stuff. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think you're going to get creative with these, or are you going to be sticking with Amiibo? How does this look for you?
Well, I'm definitely going to get the figurine, take it off, and put it on an Amiibo base. I'm just kidding. But we could do that. No, I think it's cool. I definitely have 3 that I really want to get, which is Little Big Planet, Crash Bandicoot, and then Parappa the Rapper, because I grew up with those ones. If they come out with a Spyro one, though, I want to get that one too. But like, I love it. I know I'm going to customize Little Big Planet for sure, just because there's so many costumes in that one. And I love that game too, as much. Yeah. Like, I play PlayStation as well too. So Little Big Planet for sure, I can customize that.
I always like the shark costume with Sackboy. Yeah, that's the one that I always play with.
Cute. They're so cute. So I like it. I mean, who knows? Maybe they did sneak some hardware in there, and they're just saying there is none.
They're just saying there's no NFC hardware, but who knows? It's going to be like Bluetooth or something.
Yeah. So never know. Are there any specific PlayStation characters that you would like to see?
Ooh.
With this?
Where's Spyro? I mean, I guess he had Skylanders already, but still. Like, he was one of the OG PlayStation. Yeah. OG PS1.
That would be amazing. I would love that. Love that. What's another one that I think
no sign of Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, or anything like that?
Yeah, see, that's what I was kind of talking about earlier. It's like, if you look at all of Nintendo's stuff, even the Disney Infinity, which some of their characters would tend to look more realistic, but in that game they're portrayed more cartoony and exaggerated proportions and stuff. And their figures look like that too. But with Kratos here, it looks just like Kratos does in the game. So it's really interesting to see someone making these types of toys that look more realistic than they do cartoony. So,
like, you know what? I wonder what the price point is now that you mentioned that.
$10.
They're $10.
$10. So it's really? A little bit cheaper than Amiibo.
The quality is crazy. Like the details and everything.
When Nintendo first showed Amiibo, they looked really good quality, and the first wave came out were lower quality than they showed, like quite noticeably. And I think Nintendo's Amiibos have gotten better quality as they've come out with new ones. Like if you look at the first wave, they all have derpy eyes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But all the newer ones are like far more true to the characters. So it could be that they're not quite as good looking as these pictures. To be, it could be.
No.
Yeah,
they're deceiving us.
These could just be concept, but then again, like I don't know how expensive it is to like put in the NFC cards or readers and everything inside the Amiibo, but the cost of leaving out any electronical hardware and just making the plastic figure itself, like they could be using it to make the figures themselves a higher quality as opposed to like using it to add in any extra type of features. So, but I'm interested in seeing people that are going to have their huge collection of Amiibo, and then right next to it, they're going to have a huge collection of all of these different PlayStation characters, especially if they come out with like The Last of Us or Uncharted, like Ratchet and Clank. I think that would be really cool.
Where's Ratchet and Clank?
Jack and Daxter. They have Spider-Man coming out later on, but there's already a million Spider-Man figures that you can buy.
So. Yeah,
that's true. But they're not in this lineup.
But the box looks like an Amiibo, isn't it? Like the same style and like. I think I saw a picture side by side. Maybe that was like a concept art or something, but.
My worry also is like they only have 7 characters and one of them's a spaceship. So, which the spaceship one? What is that? I don't recognize that one.
I don't recognize that one. But if it was an R-wing though, I would be on top of that. So sick. I think that'd be amazing.
That would actually, I do want that. I think there almost was one, but they didn't make it. But there's only 7. Of these. Okay, so... And I think when the Amiibo launched, there was a lot more characters to choose from because it was the Smash Bros. Lineup. It didn't have all the characters in Smash, but it had a lot of them in the first lineup. I can't think of which characters it was missing, though.
I'm sending this to you guys on Twitter. This is the only image, and this could be fan art, but this is the only image I was able to find of the different figures in the cases.
It probably was fan art. That's probably what I saw. Because I was just like, this is eerily close to...
So...
Yeah, I think it is fan art. Who knows? Who knows what the boxes look like?
There's nothing that I would buy immediately. Like, I would like to have Sackboy and some of the other characters, especially if they come out with some of the games like Ratchet and Clank and stuff in the future. If they come out with... Almost said Amiibo. Totaku? Do you guys know how that's specifically pronounced? Like, it's interesting that they're taking the same naming concept as Nintendo did. Like Amiibo for Nintendo was, I forget what the meaning of it was, but I think they said it was like a Japanese word. And then like they have the me in there too with the 2 eyes, and then Totaku, they're taking a similar naming approach as Nintendo. So there are the similarities there, not just in the figures themselves, but the naming process. But I'm excited for this, especially if they do end up implementing some sort of functionality for games in the future. Like if these sell really well, then I think they would be like, hey, we should create our own lineup of actual.
Yeah. I really hope that there is some sort of like game functionality reason to get them as well, because with Amiibo I have a ever-growing Amiibo collection that I'm pretty proud of. And some of them I don't open because I'm like, no, that's gold and silver Mario. They're staying in the box, right?
Yeah.
And some of them, and quite a lot of them, I've just opened because I also want to use them in the games that they're compatible with.
Something that I could see them being used with, specifically with Sackboy, if you go over to a friend's house and you don't have time to like download your profile or anything, if you were able to save your custom character with all of its stickers and costumes and stuff that you use, and just take that figure over to your friend's house, and then you have your character with all of the stickers and everything that you've unlocked in your game, you're able to use that. That would be an interesting use for it. But some of the other stuff, like what was it, the Bloodborne figure they had, like I couldn't think of anything logical that they could use with that, because like it's basically a single player game anyway, so it's not like you'd be able to trade stuff back and forth.
Yeah, unless it's a get item thing like in Breath of the Wild amiibo. I bet.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That could be it.
I hope so, because then at that point it's just another figurine.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are some characters that don't have figurines that, obviously I'll get. But for the rest of them, like Spider-Man, how you said there's a bunch of Spider-Man figurines that you could get. So
I really like the look of Crash Bandicoot in here. I think I would get that, but yeah.
I like that one too. They need a Spyro though. I really want to. If they come out with the Spyro, that's it. I'm getting it. I love Spyro. Absolutely love Spyro. So
since
I'll be totally down.
We've talked about how these are similar to Amiibo and which figures or PlayStation figures we would like to see in this lineup. So if we just went with Amiibo, Chris and Daniel, what's the next Amiibo figure from Nintendo that you would like to see to bring in a little bit of Nintendo to this discussion?
Every time I want one, they do actually come out with it. So
They do. Like Detective Pikachu. That's like my favorite. I really
Are you excited for that movie?
I am so excited. I know that a lot of people are just like, but it's Ryan Reynolds and Pikachu talks. Like, but for me, I think what they're going for is like a Detective Conan. I feel like that's where it's going. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen that anime. It's like really old, but basically it's about this guy who gets put into this little kid's body. So I'm guessing that somehow this person gets put into a Pikachu body, and then that's how they became Detective Pikachu or whatever. Yeah. So I'm super excited for it. I'm like,
the problem I think a lot of people have with Pikachu talking is anytime they think Pikachu, they think Ash's Pikachu, and this is just a random Pikachu, like not the one that we all know and love from the Pokemon series. This is a new Pikachu, and in the same way, like there was an old episode of the Pokemon animated show where it shows how Meowth started talking and taught himself and everything. So maybe there's a good explanation for how this Pikachu started talking. But yeah, I think a lot people's hate for it on like, oh, Pikachu shouldn't talk. They're just thinking it Ash's Pikachu, where it's not Ash's Pikachu.
Although with that new movie out, people got pretty upset. There was one particular scene that got people pretty angry.
They were just
it didn't help the situation.
It didn't help
with Detective Pikachu. No, but I think this is separate. I truly believe this is separate.
No,
because there's a clip of Detective Pikachu next to a Pikachu, and like it didn't talk, but only Detective Pikachu was talking. So I was like, that's an example.
More than one Pikachu guys in the world of Pokemon. So
yeah, and this Pikachu. Something interesting is, like, in the same way that Meowth can talk to Pokemon and talk to humans, it would be interesting to see some of the interactions with this Pikachu that can speak English, so he can actually let us know what these Pokemon are saying, because before that it was just like Mewtwo and some of the other psychic Pokemon that could communicate with humans.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what that is. But you said... you wanted to see Detective Pikachu amiibo, and then they're coming out with one?
Yeah. I'm so it's bigger. I was like, wow. I can't wait. I actually want to dress up this one too, but I'll probably like add a couple of things like a magnifying glass or like I don't know, books or whatever, something along the lines of like Sherlock-ish, type things. So I'm super excited for it. I love it. I can't really think of another amiibo that I'd want.
Am I imagining this, or was there a small Detective Pikachu amiibo and then there was a large Detective Pikachu amiibo?
No, just the large. Just the large one.
Okay. So it's not like the Yoshi.
How big is it? Is this like Mega Yarn Yoshi?
No, it's slightly bigger. It's just slightly bigger. I think it's as big as Monster Hunter ones.
Okay,
because the Monster Hunter ones are pretty big. But it's not like a gigantic one like the Yoshi one. That'd be too big.
It's a little more than twice the height of the normal Pikachu. And Pikachu's already a small amiibo anyways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's one of the smaller ones, like Pikachu, Kirby.
Yeah.
Those I think are the smallest ones I have at least.
This doesn't look like the skinny Pikachu though. Like you see a lot of images of like Pikachu back in the original anime and then how he's lost weight in the newer.
It's because he's doing more battles. Yeah. He's working out.
This looks like the chubbier Pikachu that everyone grew to love.
He's just solving cases. That's pretty much all he's doing.
Yeah.
No exercise. So I'm super excited. Yeah. But yeah, that's one amiibo that I'd want. What about you, Daniel? What did you want as an amiibo?
I don't know, man. I just always want more Zelda. I'm a huge Zelda fan. I think, but then like I really wanted like more. Like they started coming out with the older Link ones, like Ocarina of Time Link, I have 8-bit Link, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword as well. I think I would like a classic one that's not 8-bit. And I actually do have a different like
artwork.
Yeah,
and not the way it looks in game.
Yeah, because if they did them all based on how they look in game, then the Ocarina of Time one would look way, way worse. It would look like polygons, but it doesn't. It's based on like the artwork, or you could say it's based on Ocarina of Time 3D, but it doesn't say 3D. So I would like to see more, maybe a classic Link that's not 8-bit. But I do have a Link Between Worlds Link figurine that is not an amiibo, but it's that classic Link design that's not it.
It'd be really cool. Actually.
So, like that kind of fills that spot for me. What would be really cool?
Yeah. If they did like a Hyrule like landscape on the amiibo. Like that'd be really cool. Like if it was, how like in Melee, like the trophy like room or whatever, and they did like landscapes and stuff. It'd be really cool if you had like the Hyrule Castle and stuff. I think that would be really cool with like the little trees and like I don't know, but landscapes. Who knows?
Yeah. My thought originally went to like Banjo-Kazooie type amiibo, but hearing what Daniel was saying, the different type of Zelda characters that they haven't done yet, I would like to see specifically the Link Between Worlds Link in an amiibo. There's the artwork where like his arm and stuff is like he's posed in a very particular way or specific way, and I would like to see amiibo based off of that artwork. So that's what I want, because I'm actually getting ready to like replay through all of A Link Between the Worlds. So
it's so good. Yeah. Are you gonna play through it before we do our Triforce Heroes run?
Same thing. I was going to try to get Triforce Heroes here in a few days. I was looking online. Triforce Heroes was only like on eBay, I guess, because a lot of people aren't playing it because of the multiplayer thing. There's only like $7 or $8. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like,
all right,
less than $10, and it's a Zelda game. Of course, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go with A Link Between Worlds Link or the Banjo-Kazooie. Some of the older third-party stuff's really cool. Even Ukulele looks really cool. It would be. Like
I'd love it.
Amiibo.
Because we got a Shovel Knight set, so
yeah.
I mean, more third-party ones or indie ones would be cool. Indie ones are a little smaller budgets, indie games, so I can see them not necessarily coming, but some other third-party stuff would be really cool.
Gibbs.
I think they were hoping to do Rabid amiibos with Mario and Rabbids.
Oh yeah.
But then they ended up.
They just had
I guess they got rejected, so they just got figurines instead.
Yeah.
I wonder why it's rejected then. That's so weird.
I'm just guessing. It might not have been. They might have just been like, well, we'll just do figurines, but.
Some of the people in the chat, Gibbs is saying Rex and Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah.
The champion of Morrowind says Tetra. From
yes, give me because we got Toon Zelda, we've got Twilight Princess Zelda, we got Sheik. Where's Tetra?
Yeah, he says Impa from Ocarina of Time.
Wait, what?
Impa.
Impa. Oh, Impa.
Yeah. I was about to say we already have.
That's
Impa,
not my favorite Impa
Sheik,
though.
So.
Well, yeah, we. She's
they,
not
they
my
could
favorite
release
Impa.
the two from Skyward Sword, so you have two different versions.
Oh yeah, old and young Impa.
Yeah.
I also like Hyrule Warriors Impa.
Yeah,
I'm all about that.
I like her design.
Yeah, they
kicks ass.
They have the definitive edition of Impa from. Or not. I'm getting confused. Sorry. They have the definitive edition of Hyrule Warriors that was just announced for the Nintendo Switch. They're adding in some of the Breath of the Wild costumes and weapons and stuff. So it would be really cool if they released a Hyrule Warriors line of Amiibo. So you would have Link with the blue scarf. You would have all of the different versions of just the different characters like Darunia, Zora, Tingle. Everybody wants a Tingle Amiibo. I know they do.
Actually, yeah, I do want it.
Just so you can stomp on it.
Or something. Throw it out the window.
Yeah. But what about you? Do you think it would be interesting seeing the line of Hyrule Warriors Amiibo? And have you already created some of them? I'm sure you have.
I have not, but I did cosplay Impa Hyrule Warriors. So that's why I love that design. I think it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I would definitely like to have an amiibo of her, if anything.
Yeah.
But even just like maybe some of the items that Link uses, like the grappling hook or whatever. Because when I remember playing Melee or like seeing the whole table full of trophies, they did items too, and I think it'd look really cool if you had the Hyrulean shield and the Master Sword, or even Epona separately.
Even if they did that with Mario games, like it would be cool to have like a bomb amiibo or something.
Like it'd be really cool to see that.
Yeah, and then the if they had the Zelda items, it would just be the same design but without a smiley face or without the eyes. So it's like they're just reusing the same thing. But I guess that brings us to the very end of this. If you have a little bit more time, we can move on to the mailbag, and then we'll be all finished. So,
all right, let's do this.
We haven't taken up too much of your time.
No, it's okay.
All right.
How deep are we in? Oh yeah, hour and a half. We're making good time. We've done worse.
Pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
This is fun. No worries. Let's keep going.
We've gone well over 3 hours before, so whoops.
Yes. We